Welcome back to Election Exchange, where we are analyzing the impact on markets of the Maharashtra-Haryana verdict and the unexpected and strong decisions taken on diesel and gas by the government yesterday. Speaking with us so far have been Ajay Srivastava, CEO of Dimensions Consulting, Deepan Mehta, a veteran BSE NSE stock broker, and Vinod Sharma of HDFC Securities. We will have more guests joining in a minute. Ajay, should the take home be that the best for the markets is still over despite whatever happened over the weekend? That as you said, the rally will get sold into, so 8,200 plus is not happening before 2014?
In my view, no, not in this year, Latha, because simply stated, the dark cloud which are actually making people nervous is this demand recession in the economy. You already seen the numbers of manufacturing. This Diwali, perhaps, if you look at it, will be one of the worst for the retail sector by and large. So the demand compression which is hitting us, and part of the reason of the inflation falling is also because demand has fallen dramatically in the market, not necessarily supply has gone up. So, and you will see the result of the companies coming out in this quarter, the next quarter, and the guidance coming out will be much, much lower than what market is anticipating. So in my view, given the fact that what we are seeing on the demand side in the economy, I think there is a great amount of concern that the numbers expected of the companies will be much less or compared to what we had been projecting, and therefore in my view, this levels which we have seen, I don't think so we'll see again in 2014.
Okay. Ajay, I'm going to ask you a little bit of a larger question, which is from the FII flow perspective. In your sense, do you think that maybe the FIIs could possibly pull out a little more cash? Or do you think that the movement that we've seen in diesel prices or diesel deregulation as well as gas prices could possibly make them a little more positive and give India a premium, even though maybe global cues might be sluggish or maybe negative going forward?
No, I don't think so at all, Ekta, because I think, see, again, back to the point, the global price deregulation makes, a challenge if the price had to go up by 5 rupees.
Yeah, but on the hope that there would be...
that the oil marketing companies were in surplus.
Yeah.
Point taken. Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No. You're saying basically that unless the NDA government answers the challenge, that they will stick by their decision even when the prices rise, the premium need not come back for the NDA government. Is that your point?
I don't think, because, Latha, as I said, that the core issue is missing is that the economy is still not firing. Yes. The demand is compressing, the fiscal consolidation extracting a severe pressure on him. So, and if the global demand is falling, India is falling. You saw the IT sector, what's happened to the IT sector. We thought we were like sanguine sitting here, saying TCS is a great bellwether, will perform no matter what happened to the world. It didn't really happen. Yeah. So, world demand is compressing, our exports are under pressure. Look at the latest BOP numbers. Our exports are under pressure. Domestic consumption is way down below what we want it to be. Yes, inflation is a great downer, but for what reason? It's not supply increase. Therefore, economic factors, macroeconomic may be positive, but domestic factors are kind of now starting to impinge upon it, and our two biggest export industries is IT and pharma. IT is already shown what it is the problem is, and pharma is under a severe attack from the generic side, including on the IPR agreement. So there is a general issue that the industry will not outperform the global peers or will give a performance justifying the P's or 20s and 30s that we are valued at. And therefore, to put make a case to say bring in big money at this point of time perhaps needs a lot more conviction.
Oh, I'm absolutely convinced with what you're saying about the macroeconomy. The numbers have been not convincing at all. Though, of course, the IIP numbers of just July and August were impacted by that Nokia plant getting shut. But the point is that you allowed the plant to get shut. That also is a reflection of the tax regime, the economic regime really not shifting to improving output and demand. Actually, Ajay, even a normally positive or optimistic person like Rajiv Bajaj was very clear festival demand is not there. He did not mince words when he was on the channel after his quarterly numbers. So no taking away from that for sure. At the moment, we are also welcoming Sanjay Pugalia, our editor-in-chief of CNBC Awaz. Sanjay ji, how would you look at the image or even the strength, actual strength of the NDA government? Is there a positivity because two big states, industrialized and industrializing states, are now going to have an NDA-led government and therefore, more courage to take policies? Or is the government marginally on notice because it was not such a juggernaut of a victory as it was on May 16th?
Absolutely, we can say that what has happened in Maharashtra is a bit below the expectation, but that is not going to affect the capacity and the ability of NDA, Narendra Modi government to deliver on what we expect him to deliver. The difference will be of timeline and the language. The way we want him to say things, he is not going to do that. He will approach labor, he has approached labor reform from the other end, not from the end from which investors want him to approach. But with diesel deregulation and with fixing gas pricing, taking that call is a clear signal that they are very decisive, they are very mindful of what all we have been kind of critiquing in last few weeks, that lots of talk, where is the action and all of that. So Mr. Modi and his government appears to be quite mindful, and you will now continue to kind of see the announcements that we want to hear, like land acquisition to GST, to coal auction. I was speaking to Piyush Goyal just now, and he was kind of very, very clear in saying that, yeah, you will be surprised. We are going to make all the right decisions very, very soon, and we are going to flood you with these stories. So I see coal auction, base price, how they are going to kickstart the whole thing, fixing the power problem. They have already started meeting with bankers, putting the meetings together between bankers and the power companies. And land acquisition, winter session will be a great opportunity to watch whether they are decisively going to make a move on that or not. But a large number of decisions are in the pipeline.
Okay, let's welcome our other guests as well. Mehruboon Irani of Nirmal Bang joins in, and we have Mr. A.K. Bhattacharya joining in as well. Mehruboon, I'm going to come to you first. Your reaction in terms of how the markets could move tomorrow based on all of the news flow over the weekend?
I would say a little bit negative, but in a very, very, very small way. I think the reasons are very simple. As far as the diesel deregulation, a very big positive. Gas price hike on the whole positive. The quantum not very positive and could affect traders in stocks like ONGC, Oil India and Reliance, and because they are heavyweights, they will have their own impact on the indices. Coming back to the election verdict, I think positive definitely that 2 Congress rule states are now going to be controlled by the market's favorite party, that is the BJP. Coming back to the margin of victory, I think slightly disappointing as far as Maharashtra is concerned. The market over the last few days was expecting a slight majority, I would say, for the BJP alone, and that has come as a little bit disappointing. But on the whole, Haryana conquered well. As far as the government measures goes, as far as gas goes, I think again positive. They've done something on LPG front also. So I think diesel deregulation is a very big positive. So it's on the whole positive, but this verdict may take away some may prove a little bit of a dampener, and considering the fact that they will have their own negatives, the gas price hike on stocks possibly like Reliance, ONGC and Oil India, I think market was not in a mood to go up sharply, at least not in the very near future. So I think even if we have a slight gap up opening, which I'm not very confident about, even if we have that, I personally feel market will possibly sell into it.
Well, A.K. Bhattacharya of the Business Standard is also with us. AKB, Sanjay was making the point that, there is a lot of lot of decisions in the pipeline. As well, the market would cheer the fact that the government, which was accused of being a bit of a laggard in some key decisions, has now come with those decisions. Is that how you expect the economic majority, India Inc. and the business majority to read? One of the big criticisms against this government was that the Prime Minister is a very capable man, but he doesn't seem to be having a team. It doesn't seem to be like an 11-member cricket team as well. It just seems to be, Narendra Modi 1 to 10 and perhaps say 11 in Nirmala Sitharaman. The finance minister has largely been, has taken ill and has been in hospital. Does that negativity get cleared out by the fact that something very decisive, albeit easy, has come on the oil and gas front?
No, I think the talent crunch issue that you mentioned is still a problem. I think it's virtually a one-man government with no strategic thinking team seeming to be behind that one-man team. So there is an issue there, which is why you see a lot of these doubts being expressed about the ability of the government to deliver on many fronts. So I think the fact that they decided on what would my mind a political hot potato, the diesel price decontrol, and one has to see how it is actually implemented, to what extent actually the ministry moves away from the process of decision making of in terms of pricing of diesel product is to be seen. Even in the case of the gas price, the timing is good, because if you cannot do it now, you wouldn't have been able to do it ever. But going forward, I think there are many decisions that are pending, but I will still be doubtful if the government can go ahead with many of its legislative changes that are in the pipeline, and I would include the GST, I would include the insurance sector reform, I would include the promised land reform bills, and I would also include the promised the land acquisition and rehabilitation bill. So these are the 4 major economic bills. I don't see anything happening on these issues in the next 6 or 8 months, and that to my mind is the period till when this government will continue to have its honeymoon with the investors. So I think that's a big question mark, and taken together with the global headwinds, the world economy not looking very good, with India's exports not also looking very good because of the same reasons. India's IT and pharma sectors, which were keeping India's services and manufacturing sector somewhat alive, will also take a hit as a result. So I think there's a short window of opportunity. It's very short, and the government has to really exploit this opportunity to the full.
Okay, Mr. Bhattacharya and everybody else, just hold your thoughts. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be back with a lot more questions on markets and politics.